Hello everyone on YouTube and welcome to a new 3D Artcore tutorial, and this time we are going to start learning how to create and model one of my models. I name it as road cities, and basically this is what you see here in these pictures. I got two pictures to show you. Well, there are more pictures of it, but I decided to show these two because mainly what we are going to do in this tutorial is working on learning how to model those towers here, okay? Which one of the hardest parts that I find to create here is those door hallways here, okay? And also we will learn to create those roads in between them and how to connect them, okay, through those doors entries, and basically this is it. And also we will create a bridge, and the bridge that you can see here, and also the stand or the structure that holds this road in this part of the model. Okay, so let's start. The first thing I want you to do is go over File in Maya, okay, and go over Project window. Here you can click New and name your project folder as you like. I will name it as Roads. Sorry, caps lock is on. Okay, and you can decide through this folder here where you want your project folder to be. Okay, so by default Maya stores all of your projects in the documents folder, inside Maya folder, inside project folder. So this is the default destination, and after you click accept, basically Maya creates this folder together with all the subfolders that's supposed to be there. Later on you go over set project and choose the same project folder you just created, which for me is the roads, and click set. So from now on, whatever you will do, save the progress you do, everything will be stored in this destination and will stay organized. Okay, so after we've done this, two more things. Usually when I'm starting modeling in Maya, I go over shading and choose the smooth wireframe. Okay, so tick on this. That's actually smooth all the wireframes on the grid and also on top of your meshes. Okay, later on go over create polygon primitives, and here you have the option interactive creation. By default Maya assigned this with this option with V as here. Okay, so in order to remove this V, just click on this one more time and it will remove this V sign, and basically this will allow you to go over the polygon tab and choose any of these shapes here, the mesh polygon shapes, and it will automatically drop it into your scene. So for this tutorial we are going to start off by creating one part of the towers, okay, and this is the part that has those door entries or hallways, and we should bring in the scene polygon pipe. So let's bring polygon pipe. As you can see, I clicked here and it appears here. Now for any of these shapes you can go over the attribute editor here and click on the polypipe tab, okay, while it's selected, by the way, it has to be selected, and you go over the subdivision axis, and we want to have 20 of subdivision axis. Okay, so basically why it's 20, it's because, sorry, I just changed something here, 20. So why 20? Because you see we have those thick black lines on the grid which represent the center of our grid, and we do want to have for each of these axes, you know, line on top of these polypipes. So we have this line, cross this pipeline here, and we have this one. Okay, so this is the main idea why it's 20 and not any other amount of axes. Okay, so that way you can basically right click, choose face, and delete half of it. Just select it and press delete to delete it. So it will leave you with half cut of this polypipe. Then choose all of these faces except the upper one. We do want them to be there, and press delete. Okay, so basically what we are doing is creating from the polypipe a door entry, and we want to grab all these two edges, okay, and extrude them, and switch immediately to the move tool using the W key on your keyboard and stretch them that way. Okay, just a little bit, not much. Okay, you see it's like 2 units on the grid, about 2 units. If you really want to be precise, you can click on this magnet here, which is snap to grid, and then when you pull this back and forth, it will actually snap to this grid unit. Okay, and then you can turn this off, and you know it's there. So press F8 to bring it back to object mode, and use the rotation tool. Okay, switch to rotation tool using the E key on your keyboard. Hold down the J key and rotate in this direction. So it will snap to few default angles, and basically will bring you to 90 degrees like that. Okay, and then go over modify, center pivot, switch to the move tool using the W key again, and turn on this snap to grid. Okay, so now what I'm doing is basically bring this here. Maybe, you know what, let's bring this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units like that. Okay, and let's turn this off. Let's extrude this once, okay, with one subdivision, and pull this, maybe turn this on, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, yeah, 5, so I want to have 5 on this side also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, okay, so you know what, undo that, turn off the grid. We don't want to extrude it yet, but I do want to bring this over here. Okay, sorry, I just had some mistake here. Okay, let's duplicate this. Okay, no, not duplicate. Let's create a polygon cylinder. Okay, so we bring in the scene polygon cylinder, and I want you to make it large like that. Okay, and also I want you to change the subdivision axis from 20 for this cylinder to 48, to about 50 or 48. I prefer 48 because the 48 amount will basically give you again one straight line crossing at the same point where this thick black lines of the grid. Okay, so this is why it's 48. And then I want you to bring this part here a little bit up, and so it will be some way halfway, you know, for each top and bottom part of this cylinder. Okay, that way. So now for the fun part, and one of the reasons why I asked you to have Maya 2014, we are going to use some feature that we have in the modeling toolkit. You can click on this modeling toolkit here, and basically what you want to do, I'll pick this cylinder, okay, and from the attribute editor you can from the outliner, which is this icon here, okay, panel, outliner, you can see while I'm selecting this cylinder, it shows me that this is the object that has been selected, the polycylinder one, and when I select this shape, it tells me that this is the polypipe one. Okay, So 1 is stand for the hierarchy number of each each shape. If I will create another polypipe, this will be named as polypipe 2. Okay, so just for the explanation, nothing more. I will delete it right now. So we can basically come and name this as only cylinder. Okay, cylinder, like that, and then I want you to come over the modeling toolkit here, and I want you to first, maybe, you know what, maybe first what we will do is I want you to grab this edge, okay, only this edge, without those, only the outliner edge, and I want you to extrude it, switch to the scale tool, and expand it just a little bit, like so. Okay, now you see those two pointing lines, we don't want them so to be like that, so I will change to vertex. I'll grab these two vertices, switch to the move tool, hold down the C key and the V key, and try to pull this to where it should be, but I will use the grid, snap to grid feature, so it will help me to bring this to where it should be. Okay, but somehow it doesn't happen, so maybe I will turn this off and snap to grid like that. No, still not. Confused here sometimes, but let's see, maybe I will use the front view just to see that these lines are not broken like this. Okay, so it's straight line and that's fine. Okay, so now we want to remove these faces in between, inside, so grab them and delete them, and then we have left with only this shape, which is a little bit more wider open entry for our those door entries or hallway entries. Sorry. So what you want to do right now, after we name this cylinder as simply cylinder, we want to come here over the modeling toolkit, and where it says transform constraints, I want you to click on this arrow and choose other surfaces, and here you will see two options. One is the cylinder and the other one is the polypipe. We want to use the cylinder. Okay, so we are going to use the cylinder in order to make this shape here to have the same angle of this roundness of the cylinder on top of this, okay, polypipe. Okay, so what you do after you set here this to be cylinder, you right click on this, choose face, grab all the faces, and from the modeling toolkit you have these move tool. Okay, this move tool option, it's not the same as this one here, it's a little bit different, so click on it and then you will see you have the same gizmo but without the same gadget or gizmo, but this time you also have those three circles. Okay, so this is not important right now. What's important is that you grab this arrow here in this axis and push this polypipe over your cylinder like that. Okay, and as you can see, it's just getting a little bit weird, but we will try and fix this. Yeah, like that. Maybe I will shrink this. Maybe I will make it bigger and then push this. Okay, so I undo whatever I did and again switching and try to use a bigger cylinder in order to get a better look of this door entry. While you can't stretch it too much, you need to be aware of the limits because it started to look broken and we don't want this. So basically I will try to undo that also, and maybe make this even more scaled, and then right click, choose face, move tool, and yeah, that's doing the job. So it should be a little bit bigger than what I had in mind. Okay, so that way you can see it's maintaining the same shape that we had before it's been before it's been snapped to this area. Okay, so now it looks okay. So what I will do, I will press F8 once or twice, and then pick this cylinder and simply move it somewhere down, or maybe I will move it somewhere there. Okay, now let's look at this. So this is actually looks good, it looks okay, and what we want to do from here is basically you see we have the pivot point of this object, which is here, and we don't want this to be here. So we need to manually adjust this pivot. So in order to adjust pivot manually, what you need to do for Mac users is press home button on your keyboard. So while you're on the object mode, on object mode and move tool, I want you to type, I just need to see what's going on with this cat, so I will be with you in a second. Okay, so I'm back, and as I told you, I want to change the pivot for this manually. So in order to change it, you have to be in move tool, okay, first on this object, and for Mac users press home, or for Windows users press insert button on your keyboard. So it will replace the move tool with this gadget that it looks similar, just without the arrows, and I want you to turn on this snap to grid feature and push this in this axis, okay, so it will meet this same center point of these grid lines here. Okay, press home again to exit this. Okay, and now the pivot is basically on the middle of our axis, while this shape is again as before. Okay, right now it's 4. It's been yeah, we didn't set it. It was my mistake. Never mind. So it's here, okay, and this is the middle of it, and that's okay. Now what we want to do is Control D to duplicate this, and switch to Rotate tool with E on your keyboard. Press the E button on your keyboard, and hold down the J and rotate these duplicated items following this axis. Okay, this spring here. So after you've done so, and it's you position it that way, so now we have, like here we have this thick line in between those legs of this door entry. Now we do have this also here, and I will press Shift D to duplicate and transform, and then we have this one here, and once again Shift D to have 4 copies of that. Okay, now if you did everything precisely as I did here, you should be okay. You can even check this. You see here, this is the first original part object, so it's 4 units of the grid, okay, and also this one, and so on. So everything is placed correctly, and all we left to do right now is grab all the 4 of them, go over mesh, combine, and now we have one solid piece that is from all those 4 parts. Okay, now I want you to turn off this snap to grid feature. Don't forget, sometimes I forget to turn this off after I'm using it. So let's see what else can we do right now. First of all, I want you to duplicate this. Okay, so Control D to duplicate this, bring this above, and then I want you to right click, choose face. Let's grab these faces, and let's grab these faces. Okay, Now it's experimental, so let's see what will happen. We go over edit mesh and try to bridge them. Okay, we can't bridge them, so let's unbridge them. What I am going to do is basically extrude them, okay, and immediately switch to the move tool, to the scale tool, and then extrude them that way. Okay. Now, see, there is a meeting point here, and we want to first delete those faces here. So press delete to delete them, and right click, choose vertices. Let's grab all these vertices, and with the scale tool, sorry, without these, with the scale tool we will bring them closer that way. Okay, and then go over edit mesh and choose merge and the merge options. So in the merge options, go over edit, reset setting. The default threshold will be 0.0100, and that's okay for a start. Let's try and merge those, apply, and you can see they have been merged. The way to check this is to pick only one vertex, like here, and move this. Now if those two edges are following the same direction and you have no other extra edge here, that means that this area is patched. So I will assume that everything is patched here, while no, it's not correct. We do have some issue here with this line. Okay, so I will undo whatever I did, and I will just simply move this aside, and let's try and do this. Oh, this is strange. Okay, this is a little bit strange. What just happened here? I'm going to extrude this, switch to the scale tool, do this the following. Oh, okay, alright. Okay, now I understand something that I've missed earlier. So basically they are not in the center. So you know what, as I said, it's experimental. Let's delete it, and let's go back to these. Close this, let's grab these, and I want you to first grab these two edges here, okay, these two, and here from the modeling toolkit click bridge. So if you scroll down here, the bridge options, you can name this, you can type in divisions for this piece that has been bridged here. So let's say we are going to add 8 divisions, or even more, like 10. Okay, so we have 10 divisions here, but we you see it's a little bit straight too much. It's not rounded as the cylinder, but that's okay. Now also we have some transparent faces here, and the only way to fix this is to apply the shader, the default shader again. So assign existing material, Lambert is the default shader, Lambert 1, sorry, and then you won't see them as transparent. Also we want to grab the next edges, and with the same settings of 10 divisions, click bridge. It will bridge them, these two, and then we will do the same for these, and Q to switch to the selection tool and bridge those, and we will bridge also those here, G, and those two, please don't touch them. Okay, the upper edges, I don't want to bridge them right now, at least. So we will going to do this all over. So click on those two edges, bridge them, switch to the selection tool, bridge those, same amount, and please try to be to do this with the same values that I use, so you won't be surprised later on whatever result you will have. So this is the same here, and then let's grab these two, press G. I'm pressing G to repeat the same last function. So instead of hitting the bridge here, okay, but you can still use the bridge in order to bridge them. I'm just pressing the G key. Sorry, this edge and this edge, G, and this edge and this edge, and G. Great. Now we've left off with these. So G. Okay, this is the last one, and now press F8 to bring it back to object mode, and I want you to right click, choose edges, and you see we have these edges here, down here, those, okay, and I want to grab all of them at once. So the way I'm doing is, it's first grab halfway that way, and then put my camera view like that, hold down the control, mark, select all this area, and it will unselect those edges and leave me only with those. So now we can extrude this, switch to the move tool, and bring this a little bit down that way. Okay, now the reason I'm doing this is because I want to patch these edges right now, okay, in each one of those door entries. So edge, grab this edge. Now this time, before you click bridge, but down here I want you to change the division to something like 5, okay, and it will change. Okay, you can see it's changed, and we will do the same over here. Press G. Okay, the last settings will also apply, so don't worry about this. It will be 5 divisions, and that's fine. Press G, and okay. So after we've done this, I want you to click edge, click on this edge here, and yeah, and I want you to go over mesh, fill hole, choose this face here, okay, and I want you to extruct this face, okay, because we don't need this face to be with this same thing we created here. And basically I want you to move this over here just for a while, and come over here, right click, choose this edge, double click on it, so it will choose all these edges all around, okay. Extrude this once, switch to the move tool, and bring this up like that. After you've done so, switch to the scale tool and flatten this edge using this y-axis cube of this scale tool, and let's extrude it one more time. Switch to the move tool, extrude it, and leave it there. So now, sorry, just a little bit smoking too much, so this is why I'm... Okay, so let's bring this cylinder using the move tool, the snap to grid option, and bring this back to here, okay. And I want you to grab the inner cylinder pipe that we created, and I want you to scale this a little bit like that, okay. Now the reason I'm doing this is because you will see in a second, I will do this more like that, okay. So just picking all the way out from the cylinder, and then right click on it, choose faces. Now this cylinder is already been assigned to the transform constraints, so all you have to do is pick those faces and go over this move tool again, and just a slight touch on this arrow of the y-axis, bring this a little bit up, and it will snap to the cylinder that way. You see what's happening? So now it's perfectly where we want this to be, and I want you to press F8 once or twice, And now let's bring this cylinder down and have a look at this. Okay, so it's not perfectly how I want this to be, but the only way to examine this is basically press 3 and look at this entry, look at this what we have here, and basically I'm not pretty much satisfied, so I will undo whatever I did. I'm going to you know, play with it a little bit with the scale tool and try to undo that and undo that, and maybe just better that I will yeah, I will bring this back to where it was, bring this to the middle again, choose this this polypipe, and right click, choose face. Sorry. Okay, I'm having a hard time here. Let's first unselect this. Okay, and then right click, yeah, right click, choose face, grab these face and use this, and okay, now it's snapped and it looks much more better than before because I didn't move this from where you know, I didn't scale this. Earlier I was scaling this and all this structure here was a little bit got sloppy. It didn't look good. Now it looks much more better because I didn't scale this and I left it in the same position where it was. I only bring the cylinder in, and then I was immediately was doing this snapping feature. Okay, so this is what has happened here. If you didn't understand all whatever I did here, let's press F8 to bring it back to object mode, and now we can really take this cylinder and move it out of our way, and also turn off the snap to grid, and now you can have a look at this and it looks much more better than before. So now we have this part which we created earlier, and what I want you to do is bring it over here to this 1 unit after this shape. Okay, 1 unit here. I want you to go over modify center pivot and use the scale tool in order to flat this shape, because it got some little curved because of this curve of the cylinder. If you remember, we extracted this shape from this shape, so it has some curve to it, and we want to flatten this using the scale tool. And then I want you to extrude this, and you can use the you know, the snap to grid feature, switch to the move tool and extrude it to here. Okay, press F8 once or twice to bring it back to object mode. Come here, right click, choose edge, grab this edge here, hold down control, right click at the same time, edge ring utilities to edge ring and split. So it will give you nice cut of this shape. Okay, and this is very important right now because this cut is not really in the middle. So I will undo whatever I did and I will show you what's happened here again. When I was positioning this thing here, I didn't use the snap to grid, and I have to use the snap to grid in order to bring this exactly to this point here. And now I should extrude this. Okay, you switch the move tool and extrude this over this unit here, one-way unit side. And now if I will do this thing that I've done, this split, edge ring utilities to edge ring and split, now this split will be correctly on the middle on top of this black line here, you see? So you need to be accurate in what you do and turn off this snap to grid. Now we will adjust the pivot for this shape. I want to bring this pivot over the top corner here. Okay, so press home or insert for Windows user, home for Mac users, and while you are in move tool, hold down the V key and with your middle mouse wheel click and point to this point. Okay, and it will bring this pivot over here. Press home or insert again to exit this pivot adjustment tool, and now we will press Ctrl D to duplicate this, switch to the rotation tool, hold down the J and rotate the duplicated item that way. Okay, so now grab these two and I want you to examine this. Okay, you can see that they both meeting in the same equal points. Okay, those points are meeting pretty much at the same position, and that's a good sign. But we also want to check this here, and you can see we have some offsets here. Okay, now we need to be accurate on this, really need to be accurate on what we're doing here. That means that something is not accurate, as you can see, but that's good. We will do something to fix this. The first thing I want you to do is go over mesh. After you select those two, mesh, boolean, and union them. After we will union them, okay, sorry, this is a little bit weird. Okay, I need to reverse the normals. So the normals here are a little bit you know, their direction a little bit got switched, so I will reverse the normals. Press F8 once or twice. Now let's try and boolean union them. Okay, so you see now it works, and the best way to notice that it did actually work is to have those lines on top of here. You see this X lines here, and that they are following all the way down to the bottom part of this. But as you can see right here, we have problems. We have this problem, and we can fix this, but right now, yeah, we can fix this right now. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the split polygon tool. So in order to work with it, you click and hold shift, right click, split polygon tool. Okay, shift and right click and choose this. Now we are going to manually drawing the lines here that we are missing. You see, we have like 5 lines need to be here in between, following this path, and also okay, so you understand, I hope. So the way you work with polygon tool, split polygon tool, is you click, hold, and you see you can drag your mouse while you are holding, and you see this dot that is running on top of this edge. So we want to snap it all the way to the left and release, and then click somewhere here, click and hold, drag and release, and right click to close this. So you see we draw a line in between here. So basically we are going to do the same all for this, because we need to fix this area. So this is what I'm doing right now, and also before I can continue, I may want to bring the cylinder down so it won't interfere, and shift, right click, split polygon tool, and we want to be, let's see, I'm missing something. I don't remember where is the view cube, and the view cube apparently just you know, just disappeared from here. So in order to bring this back, I will only go over Windows, Setting Preferences, and Edit, Restore Default Settings, and Save, and now I will have this cube. Now I will use the bottom view of this shape, so this shape will face me straight. So you can see the lines now are pretty much straight. And if I will do this move, so let's just for instance turn the smooth wireframe, so you can see the lines are broken. If I will face it that way, so those lines looks straight because the camera is perfectly you know, looking at this shape straight. So I will bring back the smooth wireframe, and basically what I will do, I will click, you see this line here, okay, click here and draw a start point for this split tool, and then I will click here and try to make sure this line is straight and release, okay, and right click to close this line. So now we have an extra line here, and I want to add one more here and make sure these are straight also. Here we have vertices to lock this. So if I'm stuck here, that means that I can come here, release, and click here, somewhere here, from here, and drag it to the right. And when it's stopped, it means that this is the vertices over there. So release and right click to close this. Okay, basically you have vertices there to rely on, so don't be hard on yourself. Okay, this was wrong. Let's do it all over again. And right click. By the way, when you create line like this, okay, split line, if you wouldn't click right click on your mouse to close this, and you know that you made mistakes, I will just show you. I will click once here, and let's say I didn't want this line to be here. So now if I will click undo without me first closing this line by right clicking on it, it will also delete the earlier line that I've just created. So basically, before you undo something, first close the line by right clicking on it and then undo this, Control Z, okay? Okay, so now that we fixed this and it looks okay, the best way to see that if it's really okay is to press 3 to smooth preview it. Okay, if we press 3 and smooth preview it, it pretty much looks fine here. So what we can do right now is press 1 to exit the smooth preview, right click, choose faces, let's delete those faces here, okay, and that way, okay. Then right click, choose vertices, we will grab these vertices, shift grab these vertices, and let's scale this just a little bit so it will be almost peeking just a little bit outside from this cylinder. Then we will do the same for these vertices, grab these vertices, shift grab these vertices, and with the scale tool we will scale them to be just a little bit outside, like that. Okay, press F8 once or twice to bring it back to object mode, grab those two pieces, Control D to duplicate them, and let's move them down here. Okay, it's just for you know, safety. Let's grab these two again, like that, mesh, combine, and now we are going to use the merge vertex tool. So edit mesh, merge vertex tool, and we want to merge those vertices here to these here, okay, to these that's supposed to be here. They are there, don't worry. So you start off by using these vertices of those hallways and not from the ones that on the top of the cylinder, because those on the top of the cylinder has this curve here, and we want to maintain this curve. Okay, so the alarm clock, I had to shut it down. And now with the merge vertex tool, basically what you do, you work with it is like you choose this vertex, click and hold, and point, drag your mouse and point to over this point, okay, and release. So this way it will patch those. So we are going to do this for all those 4 door entries, and it's going to be a little bit weird doing this, but you know, it's taking time, and you need to be precise to make sure, double check yourself that you didn't run on top of other vertices. Okay, so like that, and let's just check this. Okay, it looks okay. Let's move on to the other one. Alright, so this one is okay, and to the third one, yeah, it's a little bit pain, but this is what requires a little bit pain for us to do things in life, you know. This is one of the motivated powers we have. Okay, sorry. Unless you're a positive person and you can do things, you know, with okay, so like that. Oops, see this, I just undo whatever I did there. It was by mistake. Yeah, there is a lot of undoing things here involved in this modeling, you know, things basically not always going your way. So this is it, we created this. Okay, so press F8 to bring it back to object mode, and right now press 3 to smooth preview it. Now if you've done everything correctly, you should have something that looks like this. Okay, while it's not perfect, because you can see we have some kind of those edges that look a little bit weird, what's going on here. So I will press 1 to exit the smooth preview, then choose the selection tool, right click, vertices. I'm going to grab all the vertices on top of this model, okay, and go over edit mesh and merge whatever is there. Okay, I just merged every single 2 points that are not that are very close to each other but not connected. And now when I press 3, you can see there are no different edges that are not connected, because earlier when we bridged all of these, we didn't actually merge them. We just bridged 2 edges, but we didn't attach it to the first row of bridge. Okay, so everything was a little bit sloppy there. Now it looks better because we did merge all the vertices that somewhat near to each other, and that way it gives us much more smooth look, and basically it looks better. The next thing we want to do is hold down the shift, right click, choose insert edge loop options. Okay, this is the options for insert edge loop tool, and I want you to reset this tool, and I want you to make sure it's still open. We need it open here. So let's add another line here, okay, and let's add another line here, I suppose. Okay, sorry, one more second from you. I need to stop whatever it goes, what goes here. Okay, I'm back. So now we want to add some more edge loops inside and outside. So the way we do it is go over the edge loops options and multiple edge loops, and here we need to decide how many edge loops at the same time we want to add. So let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's add 5 here in the multiple edge loops options, 5 edge loops, and click here. So we will get 5 edge loops here. We will do the same here, and we will do the same here. Now if the edge loops also entering inside the structure, that means that we are okay. So we have now also here, and now we will use 5 also for the inner part. So I'm going to add edge loops here, like that. Look at this from the top, you see everything is connected. We can use this view and just add them that way, okay, for all those hallways. So basically the last thing we don't have connected here, after we've done so, you see here, those haven't been created all the way, so we need to patch those. So something apparently is not right or correct here. So what I'm going to do is press F8, shift right click, choose split polygon tool, and I'm going to patch those areas using the polygon tool, split polygon tool. But first let's move these first up so they won't interfere us. Get back to this one, shift right click, split polygon tool, and let's connect those to each other using the split polygon tool. And basically we are going to do the merge thing all over. Right click, choose vertices, grab all those vertices and edit mesh, merge. Okay, so now if we press 3, we can examine the model and see that everything here is look okay, and everything down here looks almost okay except this point here. Basically we have some extra point here, which I'm not sure why it's there, but okay, it's only here. So what I will do is hold down the shift, right click, and delete vertex. Maybe not. Why would I do? Why? Okay, I'm a little bit, I don't know what's going on here, but let's maybe merge those two. Alright, yeah, merging them was the correct answer. Alright, so here we go. We have this one piece chunk of our tower, and basically we can later on duplicate this on top of each other and create some tower that we have in the model I showed you in the picture earlier. So this is it for the first part. I know it's been a little bit hard, or maybe not easy that much to create, but it looks good and I'm satisfied with the overall result. We have enough, it looks big enough entries, so we can add the roads later on to it. And this is what I was pointing on, to make them a little bit wider, and also to make them look good. Okay, and this is it. So hope you liked this part of the tutorial and enjoyed it and learned something from it. And also don't forget to subscribe, like, visit my Facebook fan page and like this page also, because I sometimes posting some things, tips, stuff like that, and also my tutorials there, and sometimes people asking questions, and it's just in general it's good to be aware of things and to stay updated. So see you at the next part, and until then, have a good day. Bye.